All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? How is it going? I am Is There No One Else. In the video I'm bringing you today, we are going to be doing a gear set review for a new gear set that is coming out in the Dragonhold DLC, which is New Moon Acolyte. Now, this set has gotten a lot of flack already. We are 3 weeks into the PTS. I had not tested it yet. I did not drop a gear set review on it. As always, guys, I discuss the PvP aspects of these gear sets. There are a lot of people that discuss how it impacts trials and dungeons. That's not me. So if you clicked on this waiting to see like how this is going to impact your new run for, going for Asylum Sanctorium or whatever the hell else you're going to do, or how to beat Bloodspawn, that's not me. I'm not that guy. So I'm going to discuss the PvP changes. If you're interested in that, please follow along. So here's the gear set right here. It's weapon and spell across the board, guys. So weapon crit, weapon damage, spell damage, physical pen, spell pen, and weapon and spell damage. This is a 9-trait craftable set in Dragonhold. So anybody has access to it. Light armor users, medium armor users, heavy armor users. Everybody has access to the set. You get all this damage at the cost of increasing the cost of your ability, your active abilities, by 5%. And so, right off the top of my head when I'm looking at this, this does look like a front bar style set that you're going to want to probably use it on your front bar because your spammable skills are typically your cheapest skills. So you can kind of, 5% of something that's really cheap isn't a whole lot. 5% of something that's expensive can be more drastic. And so when I see this, guys, I see DKs not really being able to utilize a set. Not that they can't, it's just that there probably are better options out there for them. Magic and stamina DKs, because the cost of their abilities is just naturally higher across the board. So I don't know if they want to utilize this set for that reason. But this set's going to be popular among gankers. This set is going to be popular among a lot of people just because they see what it does and they're going to be like, yeah, that's a lot. And we'll figure out a way to cover the 5% cost. So I wanted to compare it to Spriggans, and I wanted to go through the pros and cons of running New Moon Acolyte versus Spriggans and kind of show you guys where it's at currently. And so what we're going to do, guys, is we have New Moon Acolyte and we have Spriggans, both Nirnhone Malls. I am wearing 511. Currently I'm wearing Spriggans and Fury with Bloodspawn. I show this on all my tests because this is a well-known stamina-based build. People know what this set is. They've probably run it before at some point, so you kind of have an idea where it's at. What we're going to do, guys, is we're going to keep 5 Fury on, and we're just going to switch out Spriggans for New Moon Acolyte. We're going to get the comparison. So if you look at my enchants, same enchants for New Moon Acolyte and Fury, same enchants, same level, New Moon Acolyte and Fury, same enchants. And then if we look at Spriggans and Fury, we have Robust with weapon damage, Robust with weapon damage. And so what we're going to do, guys, is when we take off our Spriggans, we're going to put Fury jewelry on. We'll wear 2 body Fury, and then we're going to put New Moon Acolyte jewelry or body pieces with the Nirnhone Maul on the front bar. So it'll still be 3 New Moon Acolyte, or 5 New Moon Acolyte with 5 Fury, and then 5 Spriggans with 5 Fury in a 5-1-1, 5 heavy, 1 medium, 1 light setup. So as you guys can see, front bar, we are wearing Spriggans. Front bar, we are wearing Fury. So we're going to buff up with our rally. We're going to hit with our D-swings. First one sets them off balance. We're going to hit it again. 12,500 for a D-swing with Fury and Spriggans. And keep in mind, this isn't our full damage. Fury is not procced. We don't have our Master's Bow procced. This is just to get a comparison. So we're going to take off our Spriggans, and we are going to put on our New Moon Acolyte. There we go. So we got 5-piece New Moon Acolyte, and now we're going to put on our Fury. So we have 5 Fury on, 5 New Moon Acolyte, and you see we're in heavy across the board. So literally the same comparison, just trying to compare the 2 of them. And now we're going to hit with a D-swing for New Moon Acolyte. So with off balance, we got a crit there, 12,454. So this is against a test dummy that has about 8,000 resistances. As the resistances go up, Spriggans becomes more viable. Typically, people in PvP are sitting at 30k plus resistances right now, almost across the board. Spriggans does more damage than New Moon Acolyte does on this test dummy. So in a PvP scenario, I think it's pretty safe to assume that Spinners and Spriggans will give you more flat damage than New Moon Acolyte will, depending on what you're running. So if you are not running Onslaught and you were running Leap, Meteor, Destro Ult, anything like that, anything non-Onslaught related, I think Spinners and Spriggans is better because you get more flat damage for the same comparison without having the 5% increased cost. And so if we look at the increased cost, guys, not only does it increase the cost of our abilities, it also increases the cost of our ultimate. And so Onslaught is typically 150. It jumps up to 157. D-Swing is 2403 right now with New Moon Acolyte on. If we take a piece off and we put on our Spriggans Maul and we go back and we look at our character sheet, it's 2268. So you're going to say, well, it's not a whole lot. It's only 5%. This stuff adds up, guys. Especially in a 1vx situation, it does add up, when you're trying to kill people. And the cost of our rally is 3175. And so if we take this off and, it's a little bit more expensive, if we have to heal a lot because it's a high damage meta, these little things do add up. And so why would you wear a set that increases the cost of your abilities and does less damage than Spriggans? And so if you are already wearing Spriggans, I would not go to New Moon Acolyte next patch. I don't think it's viable. I think the only reason you would is if you wanted to buff your rally heal, which would make sense. But if you are running Onslaught, guys, Onslaught ignores resistances. We've talked about this in the past. The spell or the physical pen for Spriggans for the 5-piece is ignored when you're running Onslaught because you already get full pen anyways when you activate the set. You're better off stacking into crit damage or weapon damage. And so if you're running Onslaught, New Moon Acolyte is going to be an intriguing option because your Onslaught tooltips can get very, very high. It's going to be very bursty, and it's going to do a ton of damage. Now, obviously, it's increasing the cost of our ultimate. It also is increasing the cost of the rest of our abilities. But in this situation, this is where this set is going to shine. Now, in some ways, this is obviously powerful. I'm not saying that it's not. It obviously is powerful. But I don't think everybody in PvP is going to be running this set for the reasons I just showed you. It is powerful, and people are going to clamor about this set needing to be nerfed because they're getting hit too hard by Onslaught. And at the end of the day, guys, if it's the skill doing it, when I'm looking at this, I'm not going to be wearing, I'm just going to re-say it. I'm not going to be wearing this set on every single build in PvP. I don't think this set is so powerful that literally it is just going to become the must-wear across the board for every class, every single build. I think if you are, if you're trying to 1vx, it has its potential because it has higher burst. If we're running a very tanky meta and there's a lot of people holding block and just surviving, running something like this with Onslaught is going to give you that burst potential to finish people. If it's a more survival-based meta where dots are still doing a decent amount of damage and you have to pop your heals a lot, you might be better off running something like Spriggans or Shieldbreaker because you're still going to get decent damage and you won't have to spam or you won't have to adjust your sustain with rally, or if you have to cast heals more, your sustain's going to have to be better. I think that makes sense. And so depending on what the damage of the patch is and how you're going to have to sustain, kind of depends on how viable this set is. So is it strong? Yes. Is it going to be used? Yes. Is it going to be used for everybody because it's the best in all scenarios? No. I think I showed that here. Good set. Definitely will be running some builds with it. I definitely think it's going to be good. But yeah, I think this is the most exciting set for next patch for that reason because it's starting to open up options for hybrids, and it is also finally a solid medium armor craftable set that gives really good damage even though you're getting an increased cost. So that's going to be the end of this video. If you guys have any questions or comments, maybe I missed something, please provide it in the section below. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a nice day.